Hello and welcome to a new video. Today we want to take a look at Serena in the Open Great League. This Pokemon is now newly released. You see on the side my IV spread is really horrendous. The main reason for this is, they are very rare. I actually didn't expect that this would be that rare while we get completely hardboiled in the first game here so far. It's already amazing. But I found 4 in the first 4 minutes where I was like, hey, I can actually get a good one maybe for this one. And in the next half an hour I found 1 more. That's basically it. And at this point of time I was like, yeah, okay, I'm just going to call it a day for this one. And also, this was the only one that was eligible for Great League, so that's why I have the bad IVs there. Not really an expensive Pokemon to build though. It's I think 10k for the second charge move, which is pretty decent for this one as well. So it's not really the most expensive one in terms of starters. Of course, candy can be a little bit expensive. Of course, we used rare candies for this one as well here. But actually, here, by the way, look at this one. We're actually gonna get kind of close here of still winning this first game here, even though we get completely hardboiled from the get-go. Because they can go for the Rock Slide, going to be able to knock out the opponent, and they're gonna go for their own Rock Slide now, which will allow us to still get to our own Earthquake, and if we can win CMP, we would win this game here. But actually my opponent wins CMP, which I find really interesting. As you see on the right side, I have a 2-attack version of the Galarian Stunfisk, which is usually wins basically CMP against everything, because I don't really have anything better for Galarian Stunfisk. So not winning CMP there, losing because of this was really weird and unlucky. So I guess my opponent has 3 attack, 4 attack, that's kind of wild. Because usually I know the opponent as well, it's a very good player. Usually they have the best IV spreads, because it's also really important for Galarian Stunfisk to have that, because otherwise you're going to lose the mirror match, because you have a bulk point that you don't get. So interesting one there. Here we're going to see Whimsicott in the lead, which is going to be a little bit awkward for us as well to deal with. Can shield up the Moonblast, which is nice, and we're going to get out the Swampert. Maybe this will be a game where we get some Serena action as well. We're going to bait the potential return, and they're going to shield this one up as well, as they're going to be able to go for their own Earthquake here, which is going to do enough damage to nearly knock me out there, to get me basically into the farm down range, where I can now go ahead, go into my Serena and farm them all the way down here. You see already, Magical Leaf going to do a ton of damage against the opponent. Magical Leaf is such a cool fast move actually. I really wish more Pokemon would get this one here. It's basically a better version of Sky Attack. It does 1 more damage and generates 1 more energy than Sky Attack, so it's an enhanced version of Sky Attack, which is pretty decent, very, very neutral basically. It does both damage as well as generating energy pretty decently, so very cool fast move, but sadly not really the best Pokemon that really have that. Otherwise, they only really has, I think, Celebi, so that's not really the best one here. My opponent going to be able to catch a move here after we caught the move from the opponent as well. But here now we're going to be able to go for our own Rock Slide. Gonna put them into a 1 HP range from this one, which will allow us to easily win this game. If they went for the Earthquake, they knocked me out, they wouldn't have got to another charge move afterwards. You need always 2 fast moves before you can get to another charge move after an Earthquake for the Galarian Stunfisk, so this was a pretty safe one. Next opponent, pretty mediocre lead here. Of course, it's going to be okay-ish. You can play this out. It's a very neutral lead against the Sableye. Issue is, for this team, you have to swap out. It's an ABB line, because you have a double weakness against Noctowl on the back. And of course, you're gonna get walled again by Ninetales, which is not really ideal for us either. This is really not good, and they're actually going to be able to call the bait here. If I went straight for the return, we would have just one-shot the opponent's Ninetales basically, or put them into farmland range like this. We are going to be able to still get a shield here, which is nice, but also we're going to get them pretty low. I should most likely let this move go through here, which I'm going to do as well. Go into my Galarian Stunfisk. In this point of time, I just can hope that they have something in the back that I can beat with my Serena, because, otherwise it's going to be a little bit tough. I'm going to save 1 charge move here on my Galarian Stunfisk, use the shield, and we're going to get hardboiled by a Registeel. So honestly, I don't think there was anything I could have done, so that's okay. Next opponent, we're going to see a Naltaria against us. It's going to be a little bit better for us, but now we're going to see a Galarian Stunfisk swapping in. You can go ahead, go for the Rock Slide bait here, trying to get the shield advantage, and we're gonna get the shield advantage immediately here, which is amazing. It's safe for us to shield. We are 1 fast move ahead of the opponent, which is going to be very good for us, because now this Earthquake is very safe to go for. Trying to get the shield advantage here again, and we're going to be able to do this, as well as we're going to be able to go into our Serena now. We can theoretically, I think, take 2 Rock Slides here, so that's going to be okay for us. As you're going to try to go for the grass knot here, sadly my opponent literally just swapped in perfectly in time into the Altaria. Very smart play by them. We can still go for the stop and get them a little bit lower, putting them into 2 rock side range as well with that one, which is pretty decent, but still going to be a little bit awkward to deal with this scenario right now. I'm gonna go straight for my rock side here because I want to see how much damage it actually does, and we're gonna put them into the deep red health, which is going to be very cool for us because we can just go ahead, take 2 charge moves from the opponent here, and I can actually go ahead and farm them down later now with my Sableye, which might be a little bit better for me as well. We're going to see the Galarian Stunfisk coming back out here. I'm going to shield up the move. It's going to be the rock side only, which is a little bit annoying because I thought they had something better, and they definitely have something better as they're already at the next charge move. But Foul Play going to knock them out, and we're going to get out the Lantern. That's going to be an interesting matchup for us here. It's going to be a very neutral matchup. I think they can just go for 2 Sirs and win this one though, so it's going to be a little bit of an awkward one. But let's take a look what we can do here. Surf coming through, going to put us into range for another Surf, but we can still go for the next Foul Play, putting them into range where I can just farm them all the way down, but I can also snipe them with my Galarian Stunfisk, going for 1 rock side. The Altaria is at 1 HP in a dream, so we can farm them all the way down and win this game. Actually won a game as well again. Next opponent, we're going to see a Charizard in the lead. This is, of course, a guessing game. Charizard wins this game here, I think, if they bait twice. But if they don't bait twice, I should be able to win this one. So I'm going to call that they're going to bait me here, and I'm going to no-shield the first one. Yeah. What can I say? Basically, this game is over because of that. So next time, I guess it's just safer to go ahead and shield the moves up, but honestly, it's just a guessing game. Like, if I get the Dragon Claw correct there, I would be in such a huge advantage there that the opponent basically had no chance of coming back. Like this, of course, I look like the idiot here because I'm going to completely get wrecked by the opponent now. And if you're going to take a look at the backline, if I won the lead, I would have been able to most likely sweep the opponent completely, but hey, that's a different case, because you have a Medicham which we could have aligned into our Sableye. Sadly, I never was able to actually, I think, align a Medicham into a Sableye, so that's great. But yeah, this was not really ideal. Next opponent, Dragonite in the lead. We can shield up the charge move here. We are going for the CMP tie on the superpower, which worked out pretty well here, because I think a normal Rock Slide doesn't knock them out quite yet, but a Rock Slide with a debuff definitely knocks them out for sure. And at this point of time, we can get 2 shields by the opponent. And after my horrendous play before, I kind of have to make it up, and I'm going to go ahead, swap into my Sableye onto the superpower. Resisted, debuffed, and we're going to get now the opponent out here with the Galarian Stunfisk. I can align my charge move here perfectly onto their own Earthquake here. And at this point of time, I should be pretty fine. They have a lead that's a Dragon type, which usually means they have double Steel in the back. That's what I'm predicting here, so I'm going to keep my Galarian Stunfisk alive, because it wouldn't really make sense if they have something like a Fighter in the back or something like this, because you have already a Dragon type in the lead. Like, you would lose hard against any Charm user. You would be really, really bad against this one. Of course, they have a Fighter in the back, because where does this make sense? I have no idea, but cool. I guess if you see an alone Ninetales in the lead, you can just top a left instantly. Good job there. Next opponent, we're going to see a Talonflame. Talonflame is a Pokemon that we haven't seen for a longer time here. Let's take a look if we can deal with this one. We can go for 1 Rock Slide. We have some laggy gameplay here as well. I feel like since the last version of the game, I get at least more frame drops. Let me know in the comment section how it is for you. Also, if you want to see me using this Pokemon again in the Open Ultra League, leave a like on the video. If we hit like 300 likes in the first 3 hours, I'm going to publish another video for this Pokemon for the Open Ultra League as well, because I feel like this might be the better league for this one here. But now we're going to be able to go for 1 Foul Play against the opponents. Medicham, I'm going to get them pretty low, at least here actually we're going to be able to align our Sableye against them. We're going to have a ton of energy. We're going to try to go for the, what's called a return here, and we are not going to be able to go there, so that's kind of bad. But at least we're going to be able to do some damage against them. They're going to be able to go for their own charge move now. Let's see what they have in the back. Flame Switch coming through. It's going to be a Trevenant. At this point of time, this game is over. There is not a lot that I can do about it. Trevenant is a very tough Pokemon to deal with for this team as well, because there is, sadly, like, I haven't really talked about it too much yet, there is not really any good core with Serena. Serena just doesn't beat too many Pokemon. You have to have something that beats flying types, of course, but like Serena is not really the best Pokemon, of course, and there is no good core. Like, there's always going to be something that's going to core break you. So that's why I went for that one. For example, if I went for a Bastion in lead, which is definitely better against Trevenant, you're going to get hard-walled by a Registeel. A Registeel will destroy both your Serena as well as your Bastion in the lead. So like this, that, so like it's a little bit awkward here. Here we're going to see a brick break version of the Vigoroth for whatever reason. We can at least go ahead, go into our Sableye right now. We should be having a pretty decent time here at least. They have already an Altaria in the lead. Kinda tells me that they're going to have most likely something like a Galarian Stunfisk in the back. They need something to deal with a Galarian Stunfisk, but also be like in general Steel types. Like a Registeel, they still need some other answer for that one. They need an answer for Ice type Pokemon like the Alolan Ninetales. If they would face, for example, an Alolan Ninetales now in the lead, like they only have really one answer so far. So that's going to be most likely some Steel type in the back. I like a Bastion, so I'm going to play exactly for that one. I expect like a Galarian Stunfisk to be fair at this point of time. I can go into my Galarian Stunfisk myself, as I just hope that my Serena are going to be able to beat whatever they have in the back. Could be a Swampert as well, because it would be able to beat those Steel type Pokemon. And it turns out it's going to be, of course, a Tropius. Why not having another Flying type Pokemon? That literally doesn't make sense, because you have a double weakness against Ice type Pokemon. It literally just doesn't make sense. It doesn't even help you. Like, what are you trying to beat with that? Although, of course, on my team, but yeah. Why do I go here by logic? I'm sorry, it's like, I just honestly, sometimes I just see teams and I'm like, yes, I lose against this. Yes, I'm playing complete nonsense spice stuff because that's for videos, but how are you even up there? Like, I don't just know. Nothing against the opponents, of course, like if you watch this or whatever, I just don't understand your teams. Like, I just don't understand them. Like, if someone in the comment section want to teach me how to use this team and why this team is amazing, then please feel free to, but double weakness to Ice, 2 Flying types, what do you do against a Bastion? You have one answer for this one. What do you do against any kind of anti-Flying type Pokemon? I just don't get it. Honestly, I just don't get it. But yeah, here we're going to see a Bastion against us. Like I mentioned, the opponent would have faced it in the lead, but we're going to see now a Tropius coming in as well, which is fine for us, as we can go ahead and go for 2 Rock Slides here, which will do some decent damage. Gonna put them into a range where I can farm them down with my Sableye. I'm going to shield up once here because I know that the opponent's Bastion is energy dry, so I don't really need my shield for that one, and I can just go ahead and farm them all the way down. The Bastion is in range for 1 foul play, and this is going to be a very good game here, as there's nothing my opponent can do here anymore. There is literally nothing they can do, and we will be able to knock them out with 1 more foul play. Good game there. Final game for this video. Again, if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like. If we get 300 likes in 3 hours, we will try to publish a video for the Ultra League as well for this Pokemon. I think this might be an interesting gameplay experience for this one as well. But yeah, we're going to see here the... Of course, if I go for the bait, my opponent going to not go for the bait and I go for the Rock Slide, and it's going to be all... Like, honestly, out of, I think, 10 matchups against the Galarian Stunfisk in the lead in the mirror, I faced at least 9 times where my opponent goes for the Rock Slide. The one time where I don't shield, of course my opponent goes for the Earthquake. It is just so bad. Honestly, it just, like, this is just, of course, unlucky. Like, great play by my opponent. I don't really want to say anything against this one. It's just, yeah, like the one time where you don't go for the shield, of course the opponent going to decide to just go straight for it. But maybe we can at least catch a charge move here onto my own Galarian Stunfisk, or like in general onto one of my Pokemon. But actually I'm going to be able to catch it onto my Serena. Serena will be able to take this charge move pretty well because it's going to be resisted. But still, it's going to be an awkward one here for us, as we're going to see the opponent coming here with 1 Rock Slide, going to knock me out. If I had better IVs, I definitely would have been able to survive that one, so that's definitely on me here. I can still try to farm them all the way down, but as you're going to see here already, there is not really anything I can do about it. We have 2 foul plays, but sadly we just need 1 more fast move to survive to win this game. But sadly this will not happen here, so it's going to be it for the video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a like. On the right side, you're going to see the top teams for the new cup that's currently available, which is going to be the Weather Cup, and on the left side you see some Weather Cup gameplay, so click on them if you're interested, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!